Guys, it's Sam, or you might know me as divinefrommerch.com. Normally seen I don't make real life videos, so this is a bit strange for me, but I figured now would be a good time to do it considering what's happened to merch over the past week. So as you can tell, we've been hacked, which is extremely unfortunate. We're really sad about it. We really regret it, but it has happened, and right now I should make a video about that and explain you guys what exactly happened. You might have noticed some of the downtime that we've had over the past week because of it, or you might have seen that my merch account has been banned for several days now, or perhaps you read the post that a developer made here, which I'll add a link to in the video description. He explains a bit more about the technical side of things. In this video, I'd like to tell you my side of the story, so basically how I got hacked, what it means for the community, for you guys, and also what it means for the future of merch. So as you can tell here, our server was hacked through my server account, which I really regret. And how exactly that happened is they hacked a very old email account of mine, which was probably used like over 5 years ago, probably over 8 years ago, to sign up to some RuneScape community. And the problem was that back then there was no such thing as two-factor authentication yet. So because of that, because it's so long ago, I never thought about adding two-factor authentication to that email address, because I almost use it for, I only use it for Skype anymore, I believe. I didn't use it for anything else. So that's such a long time ago. And that was my first mistake, that I did not add the 2FA, which led them into my Skype, because once you get the email, you can also recover the Skype. That's really no rocket science. So once they were in the Skype, they started looking for vulnerabilities in the merge system, in the chat logs with me and the developer. And unfortunately, there was quite a recent one. Some of you may know we recently moved servers on merge, and I needed access to that as well, because I make these small changes sometimes to our HTML and to our CSS, or sometimes I change a link in a file that's linked to the RuneScape forums. And those are really small, annoying changes to run by the developer every time. He's got better stuff to do. So that's why I got access, not because I do any developing work. But that access was enough for the hacker to do what they wanted to do, which our developer writes about. He's actually a lot better at explaining that than I am. But it comes down to the hacker uploading a file on the 19th September, which stored the usernames and the passwords of people who were manually logging in on that day. So if you manually logged in on that day, like if you were already logged in, or if you were just a visitor, then there isn't a problem. But if you manually logged in that day and you did not have two-factor authentication on your RuneScape account, no Jagex account guardian, and you used the same username and password on there, then you were at risk. And it sounds like only a small group of people, which it probably is, but there's always people who just don't use unique passwords, who use the same logins everywhere, and who don't use extra protection just because it's faster to log in. And because of that, some individuals were affected, which we're really sorry for. I really am. I hope it's a good lesson to all of us. It has been for us at Merge, at least, as you can read in the post our developer made. He's been working on more security features. So I'm really sorry about that happening. What else the hacker did was dumping the database, as that's called, which basically means he pretty much got all the usernames, emails, passwords, and IPs. Now, as for usernames, that shouldn't be any problem. The emails, any phishing emails or spam like that is mostly stopped by the spam filters of email providers nowadays. But there is always a risk that that you get phished. It doesn't even have to be from merch. It can be from people pretending to be Facebook or pretending to be whatever website you use. So you always have to be careful with that, like logging in through links in emails and such things. And you should definitely use two-factor authentication on as many things as you can. So that's the annoying part about that. Then notice that I also mentioned that passwords came out of it, but no password is stored in plain text like the developer said. So everything was encrypted, which means that they pretty much downloaded an encrypted file, which they cannot decrypt unless they have probably millions of worth in supercomputers and dozens of years to crack all of it, which isn't really worth it for anyone. There's not enough money to gain from merge users like that, because the amount of people that would have matching credentials would even be so much smaller. So that's that, but it's simply annoying that it got stolen, and the IPs aren't a problem because you can simply change your IP by resetting your router or like plugging it out or something. There isn't a whole lot they can do with your IP anyways, other than uh, like knowing your location, which is not that big of a deal anyways because it's not accurate enough to be an issue. So that's that. That's the annoying part about the hacking. You guys are probably curious if anything else of mine was hacked. The developer, the hacker actually talked to me a few hours ago. He added me on Skype pretty much to try to tease me, to try to annoy me about it, to brag a bit. But I just heard him out. But I'm not really going to take his word for anything he said. Like, he told me to tell the developer that my computer wasn't compromised, which I find doubtful as well. But I can't just assume that and still take a risk for merge or anything like that. So I'm taking all the necessary steps to ensure that my computer's safe. They also said that it didn't hack anything else or go after anything else than merge, which was downright a lie because I have clear evidence that they tried to log in a lot of various things and they didn't succeed at any of that. So all my other stuff is safe, but that doesn't really matter for any of you guys. So I'll just leave it at that. Then as for like the biggest thing here really, like for me with this whole hacking thing is of course the faith you guys have in us, the trust you have in us. It's obviously damaged now because a lot of people, well not a lot, but some people will think that it's an inside job that we did this to try to hack you guys and we're covering it up with some sorry. All I can say about that, it's not the case. We've been working on merge for over 2 years. If we wanted to hack people, we would have done so a very long time ago. It's really not what we're here for. We're not building some kind of scheme, even though some people think that we're just trying to attract a lot of merchants to then hack them or something. But it is not why we do this. We do this because we fill up a gap that Jagex is leaving there. They're not supporting merchants. They're not providing any tools, no community. All those things are really lacking, and we enjoy filling that gap. The developer likes making the updates that he does for you guys. I like making the videos that I make weekly, even though lately they haven't been weekly because I've been away on a vacation actually, and returned to this news, which is not very nice. So yeah, that's why we do these things. There's really no big scheme behind it. I hope that eventually we'll be able to regain the trust that we've lost to some of you. You can continue to use merge, though changing your password, your details could be a good idea just to feel safer, even though the passwords are safe, like I said. What a developer also said is anyone that was actually affected, so who logged in on that day, they will be or have already been notified by our developer that they need to change their information. So that's a really important thing to mention too. As for the future of merge, before I left on vacation, I started working on a big video project, which is getting even bigger every time I look into it. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be up. I would rather not spoil it, so I'm just going to keep it for myself for now. You'll see when it's up. But pretty much everything else, all our plans are still available on the forums for everyone. Like our future plans, we do still plan to continue to work on merge, to continue to make videos, and hopefully we can regain the trust that we have lost to probably many of you. Again, we're really sorry about this happening. We hope we can all learn from it and move on. And yeah, thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, as always, on every video, you can always ask and I will be responding to all of you. Thank you for watching and have a good day.